Welcome to a place where we don't just listen, we feel. Where learning English meets the lessons of real life. Here, we train not only our words, but also our minds, our hearts, and our voices. If you're here, you're probably searching for something. Maybe a reason to keep going. Maybe a spark to wake up that quiet voice inside you. The one that whispers, I'm not done yet. Today's message isn't about success. It's about what happens after everything falls apart. Because that's where real growth begins, in the silence after the storm. Have you ever felt that strange stillness when everything you planned suddenly stopped working? Your job, your dream, your relationship, gone. And you just sat there, not angry, not even sad, just empty. That silence can be terrifying. It's the sound of something ending and something new trying to begin. We fear failure so deeply, but what if failure isn't the enemy? What if it's a mirror showing us who we really are? When life breaks you, it doesn't mean you did something wrong. Sometimes it means life is clearing the path ahead, removing what was weak so you can build something stronger. We live in a world that loves happy endings, the before and after photos, the perfect smiles. But no one talks about the middle, the dark, messy middle where you question everything. That middle is where transformation happens. It's where the fragile parts of you die and the strong ones are born. If you're in that place right now, lost, tired, or confused, listen closely. You are not broken. You are becoming. Every fall teaches you what comfort never could. When you lose, you learn. When you hurt, you grow. When you're rejected, you're redirected. Pain isn't the opposite of progress. It is progress, just wearing a disguise. Sometimes life has to take away what's safe to remind you of what's real. The job that didn't work out, the person who walked away, the dream that failed. Maybe they weren't your punishment. Maybe they were your training. Because every time something ends, it gives space for something new to begin. Think about all those moments in your past when you thought, this is it. I can't do this anymore. But you did. You made it through. You're still here, right? That's your proof. Proof that you can rise again. So don't be afraid of falling. Be afraid of never standing up again. Every scar you carry is a line in your comeback story. Every tear is a sentence in the script of your strength. Life doesn't break you to win you. It breaks you to rebuild you into someone more awake, more honest, more alive. This isn't the end of your story. It's only the scene before the rise. So take a deep breath. You're still here. You still have time to rebuild, to rise, to begin again. Because the version of you that's coming next, the one built from pain, lessons, and courage, will be unstoppable. When pain enters your life, it changes everything. It changes the way you think, the way you trust, the way you breathe. At first, it shatters you, piece by piece. But then, slowly, it starts to build something new inside you. You don't see it right away. You just feel lost. But deep down, something powerful is forming, a new kind of strength that only pain can create. People love to say, stay strong, but real strength doesn't come from pretending you're fine. It comes from facing what hurts and choosing not to run. It comes from sitting with your pain until it no longer controls you. When you walk through pain instead of avoiding it, you start to understand yourself in ways you never did before. You begin to see who you really are, not when everything is perfect, but when everything is gone. That's when true power begins, not the loud kind, but the quiet, unshakable kind. Because pain has a purpose. It burns away what's fake. It removes everything that was never meant for you. And in that empty space, truth begins to grow. The rise after the fall. Maybe you lost someone you loved. Maybe you failed at something you believed in. Maybe you're still asking why. But one day, you'll understand. It all had to happen this way. Life doesn't take things from you to hurt you. It takes them to free you, to show you what you're truly capable of when there's nothing left to hold on to. Power begins the moment you stop asking, why me? And start saying, watch me. That's the shift, the turning point where pain becomes your power. After that, everything about you changes. You walk differently. You speak more calmly. You don't react, you respond. Because pain taught you patience. It taught you silence. It taught you control. Everyone who has ever become strong has faced something they never wanted to face. And every time they stood up again, they built power layer by layer. You can't fake that kind of strength. It's not in your muscles or your smile. It lives in your eyes, the eyes that have seen darkness and still choose light. So don't hide your scars. Don't be ashamed of the things that broke you. They are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you fought and survived. Your pain was never wasted. It was your training. It was the fire that shaped you into someone unbreakable. Every time you rise after a fall, you send a message to life itself. I'm not done. Yes, you may still feel the ache, and that's okay. That ache is the sound of your soul rebuilding itself. Keep moving, even if your steps are small. Keep breathing, even if it hurts. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that pain didn't destroy you. It introduced you to your power. You don't need to become who you were before the pain. That version of you is gone. Now you're stronger, sharper, deeper. You've met your limits, and you've gone beyond them. This is who you are now, not someone who barely survived, but someone who transformed. There always comes a moment when holding on hurts more than letting go. You replay the past again and again, hoping maybe this time the story ends differently. But it doesn't, because what's gone is gone. Letting go isn't about forgetting. It's about making peace with what happened. It's about saying, yes, it hurt. Yes, it changed me, but it doesn't define me anymore. We all carry ghosts, memories, people, mistakes that whisper, remember me? But you don't have to keep listening. You can choose silence. You can choose peace. The past is a teacher, not a prison. It was meant to shape you, not hold you captive. And the longer you stare at a closed door, the longer you miss the one that's already open. Sometimes we stay stuck because we're waiting for closure, but not everyone can give it to you. Not every story gets a perfect ending, and that's okay. You can close the chapter yourself. You can say, "This pain taught me enough. It's time to move on." You forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You let go, not because you're weak, but because you're ready to live again. That's real strength. It's quiet, soft, calm, yet unbreakable. Starting over doesn't mean starting from zero. You're carrying lessons now, heavy ones. You know what loss feels like. You know how to rebuild with shaking hands, and that means you're ready. Ready to trust again. Ready to dream again. Ready to live without fear of breaking. Because now you know, even if you fall, you can rise again. You've done it before. You'll do it again. So take a deep breath. Forgive yourself for not knowing better back then. Forgive others for not loving you the way you needed. Let the weight fall off your shoulders. You're not the person you were yesterday. You've outgrown the pain that once controlled you. Now you stand taller, lighter, freer. This is your new beginning. This is the chapter where you finally choose peace. Not because everything is perfect, but because you've learned that peace is a choice. You made it here for a reason. Your story isn't over. It's just changing direction. So rise, not as the person who fell, but as the one who refused to stay down. Because you, right now, are the proof that pain can become power, that endings can become beginnings, and that broken hearts can still beat with hope. Take this moment. Breathe. Look at how far you've come. You are still here. And that means your rise has already begun. And now, I want to hear from you. What part of your journey changed you the most? Was it the moment you fell apart, or the moment you decided to rise again? Share your story in the comments. Your words might be the light someone else needs tonight. Because every time you speak your truth, you give someone the courage to face their own. We're all walking this path together, learning, healing, growing, one step at a time. So leave your thoughts below. And let's remind each other that no fall is final and no pain is wasted. Your experience matters. Your voice matters. And your story, it could be the reason someone keeps going.